Welcome back, Summoners. Today I am reviewing another third-party app for League of Legends. I am so excited to talk about this app. It is by far the most interesting third-party app that is available today. If you are new here, check out some of our other reviews, and if you like the content, then you know what to do. If you like what I have to say and want to try this app out for yourself, be sure to use my referral code in the description section or in the pinned comment for a chance to be entered into a weekly RP raffle. The app that I am talking about today is Tsar. I have no idea if that's a reference to a Russian emperor or not because of the spelling. Not important, just thought I'd mention it. The app is the most unique app for League of Legends that I have seen or reviewed, and I review a ton of these apps. Check out the channel. Tsar comes from the land of baguettes, the Eiffel Tower, and probably the most famous art museum in the world. And if I could do a French accent, that would be a much more interesting sentence. The app was developed in France. Tsar is Riot compliant. Before you ask, it will not get you banned. Seriously, if any of these apps were bannable offenses, do you really think I would still have an account or a YouTube channel? Tsar has a ton going on. You're going to see a lot of overlays and cool stuff that Tsar does. Despite that, it did not slow down my machine at all, and I played without any lag. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Professor. So what makes Tsar unique? Well, it is a community-based trainer, meaning that you or I could create a guide for the app. Or you could be a leech and just use other people's guides and not contribute in any way, shape, or form. When I first downloaded Tsar, after learning what it was, I was really skeptical. We all know the player base of League of Legends thinks that we are a lot better at the game than we are. If the shoe fits, wear it. I wear that for sure. I thought Tsar was going to be oversaturated with brain-dead instructions and guides on how to win very specific coin-flip scenarios. That is not the case whatsoever. I promise that until I am challenger level, the only guide that I will be making will be a troll, like you're going to be in lane and this shit's going to pop up. The guide downloads come with the creator name, the language, creator ratings, and the max rank the creator ever received. Creators can also get verified by Tsar developers. Keep in mind that the blue checkmark does come with an inflated ego of thinking your opinion matters, not pointing any fingers. Twitter. Seriously though, there are bronze Teemo guides on here. Stay humble, summoners. However, Tsar is formatted in a way that there's not really a way to completely botch your idea, unless it's a complete troll move along the lines of, your jungle just died, go for dragon. I love this system though. Players can leave comments and reviews of each guide and say how much it helped them or didn't. In addition, if you do create a guide, you can link your Discord, Twitch, and other social medias. So if you are looking to grow your stream, make a decent guide and maybe you can get noticed by some people. Hell, even that bronze Teemo guide had 250 users. But even if you're not interested in using a specific guide, the base Tsar app gives standard tips such as reminding you to buy control wards and warning you when dragon comes up. There is plenty that this app has to offer, just don't get caught reading the notifications when you're about to get ganked. You might have to pay for some of these guides, just keep that in mind. I'm not going to comment on those, I haven't paid for anything. As far as cost per guide system goes,
if you're good at something, never do it for free.
I might get into making some of these guides in another video, but that's not what this one's about. This is strictly a review. Let's move on to the pregame. The pregame for Tsar is a bar that hangs off the left side of your League of Legends app. There is plenty of stuff to see here. You can see your stats, your allies' stats. You can import your runes, your builds, your items. Pretty standard stuff for third-party apps, but Tsar has matchup-specific stuff just in case you need a different rune page for someone like Kayn, red, blue type thing, etc. Tsar is pretty unique because it will take a look at your team comp and the enemy team comp and recommend situational runes that aren't your standard most popular highest win rate like the other apps. Using third-party apps to download your runes is a pretty common occurrence based off my last poll. Tsar takes this idea and pushes it one step farther to potentially help your team more based off of your choices here. There is also ban and pick advice based off your team comp, and if you do choose someone that you're not used to and you don't really have a guide for, don't be shy. You can download a new guide instantly from the pregame setup. The pregame scouting report comes on a loading screen, so if someone is playing on McDonald's Wi-Fi, you'll have plenty of time to read all about your allies and enemies. Pretty standard scouting report. I gotta make a video comparing all of the scouting reports that these apps have to offer. If you want to see that, leave a comment down below. You can also check out your damage comp as well as win rate based off of game duration. I really don't know what to say about this stat. I think it's much too broad of a stat to be accurate. There are way too many factors that go into this, kind of skeptical, but I'm not going to fault the app for that too much. As far as the in-game overlays are concerned, there has never been a better overlay app. It is like playing a brand new game. You can adjust where the overlays go, just so you know. Your live guide tips pop up in the bottom left with a notification sound. Hit tab to read more, hover over it to see the reasoning behind that specific notification. Hold tab to see some suggested items based off the Masters Plus player builds. There's also a gold difference box for you to see who is up on gold and who is the most deadly. After 14 minutes, this evolves into an items gold comparison to see who is using their gold the most. Think of the potential of this. Mobalytics has something similar in terms of who has the most gold. If you pay attention to this as a jungler, you know exactly who to gank, if you can go kill them, if you need to stay away from them and avoid a double kill. I really like these overlays, and I haven't even gotten to my favorite overlay yet. But if you watch this channel enough, you know that my favorite overlay are the minimap jungle timers. You can see them all right here. I love these overlays. If you are a jungle main, you can route so much better with these in mind. I'm just saying it's absolutely phenomenal to have them. But Xar is not done yet. Xar has recommended ward locations on the minimap. If you hit tab, several yellow lights ping on the minimap where you can see where you should place wards. That's pretty cool. Speaking of wards, Xar gives you a chime notification when you have another ward to place, as well as displaying the cooldown timers on your ward icon. Xar is probably the one app that helps you improve your vision score and doesn't abuse it like all the other apps. Xar has ultimate cooldown timers on your teammates' icons above the minimap as well, and it also has a recommended ability order. They're subtle and do not have the arrows. The box just highlights and pulses, but it indicates the same thing. Pretty standard. Speaking of standard things, there's also an overlay that tracks your CS, your vision score, your kills, and assists. This overlay compares very well to apps like Professor, Blitz, Mobalytics that have this overlay. You can also select what rank you compare to, so you can always push yourself to be better. Let's talk post-game. I have been rocking wood for this app up until this point. Right when I'm about to finish, the balloon deflates. The post-game breakdown is really weak. The base game has just as much, arguably more when you look at the advanced information. It has your standard game information as well as a CS and vision comparison. Xar also has a transcript of all the events and notifications that happen in the game based on the time. I like this, but I also don't. I read all that in the game, I know what happened. I really wish there was more information that I could see here and give me a little bit more of a breakdown and tell me how much better I did compared to the last game, etc., etc. My point is that I think there is much to be desired and much more room to improve when it comes to a post-game breakdown with Xar. Now, that's not really what Xar is all about. Xar is about in-game overlays to help you improve, but I think a post-game analysis is also good, kind of like a debriefing. On the profile page, you can see your ranked LP win percentage and other information here, as well as digging into your match history. I really like this. When it comes to my personal opinion about this app, you can probably already tell that I really like it. I'm not sure where it lines up with the other third-party apps because it stands apart, because it does things so differently that it's really hard to compare them. It's a guide system that makes you think and challenges you to improve by asking you questions about your strategy. That's not really seen in any other third-party app. The one real issue that I have here is that you have a guide that's on your screen and you can completely ignore it. I notice that in games when I'm doing really well, I'm not reading the hints and the advice as much as in games where I'm getting absolutely demolished. I use this guide system almost like a reminder for how I'm making poor decisions. It's more of a lifeline. Xar is pushing me in the right direction to get me back in the game when I'm absolutely getting trounced. And that's kind of a good thing. When I'm up 15 kills and full send a team, I don't really care what the advice is. I know that we're going to win that game because I can hard carry. But when I'm getting absolutely wrecked, I need to know how to catch up so that I can actually impact the map and help my team improve. I think Xar has a lot of potential and has completely cornered the market on this type of guide system. If you have not tried Xar or heard of it, I highly recommend testing it out and seeing if you like it. Don't forget to use my code. So let me know, what do you think of Xar? How are you going to try it? Do you like it? I want to hear from you, so sound off in the comments down below. And one more thing, Goose is an amazing mod.